Hear ye, all persons having anything to do before the Honorable, the Justice of the Superior Court, now sitting at Worcester, within and for the County of Worcester. Draw near, give your attendance, and you shall be heard. Advised to the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, this court is now in session. Please be seated.
Good morning, everyone. This is the bail petition of Isael Rivera. Would counsel please identify yourself?
$20,000 bail, is that correct?
Yes, Judge.
All right. So I have reviewed some police reports that have been provided to me, and it looks like somewhere in late February, the authorities began to be looking for these children. There was a C&P, or whatever it's now called in juvenile court, that was filed, and the allegation is that he and the mother were made aware of this and somehow absconded to the children, and he's made various communications with the authorities. Feels that he has been put upon inappropriately, and I gather they were eventually found someplace and returned here to Massachusetts. He did have a couple of previous continuances on some A and Bs, other dismissed matters, I think, a couple of violations of probation. That's what I've gathered from the materials I've seen so far. I'll hear from the counsel.
Thank you, Judge. As you know, there is a presumption of personal recognizance in this matter. It's the Commonwealth's burden to overcome that. Here we have no reason to think that Mr. Rivera is a flight risk. He's an individual whose life is here. His children are here. His family is here. Everything he cares about is within the Commonwealth. What you have before you again is a man charged with kidnapping, essentially taking his own children to Texas. That's the charge. Judge, I ask that you consider releasing on personal recognizance. It's a situation where he's facing no mandatory minimum sentences. He's never had committed time. The issue regarding his record, he's had a default on one case that he took a plea on roughly 9 years ago. I understand there's some motor vehicle issues beyond that point, but again, this is a man with a limited record. Judge, the family is here today. This is a situation where the family has come up with some money, if Your Honor feels that some bail is appropriate, but holding him on this extraordinarily high bail is preventing him from unifying with his children, fighting for them as the parent he is. I ask that you consider him being released on personal stay. If Your Honor feels some bail is appropriate, I know that the family has gathered $4,000.
Thank you. Attorney Corey.
Thank you, Your Honor. So, the statement that he's not a flight risk is not supported by the facts that we have here. As the court already noted, there was a court order giving custody of the 5 children to the Department of Children's Affairs. The defendant knew about that order, and then he took the 5 children, fled the Commonwealth, and went to Texas. He was charged with these crimes here before the court. A warrant was issued, and he was arrested in Texas and extradited back to Massachusetts. Those facts alone show that the defendant is in fact a flight risk, because he did flee. And then when he appeared in district court for arraignment, the defendant, against the advice of the judge, refused counsel and repeatedly told the court that he did not recognize the court's jurisdiction over him. So again, that is a risk that he will not comply with any court orders. Those facts alone show that the defendant is a flight risk, and the $20,000 is sufficient. As to other factors that the court should consider, he does have a record with some defaults. He does have some violations of probation, showing that he failed to comply with court orders. So, based on all of that, I think $20,000 is sufficient.
Judge, I would dispute that these are actual facts. They're facts we determined at trial.
All right. Well, I am going to deny the petition. I agree that his record is not significant, but the efforts that he took to avoid authorities are really fairly extraordinary. There doesn't seem to be any dispute, and I'm not asking for a response from you, counsel. You can give one if you wish, but I'm not looking for that. And he has evaded the jurisdiction of the court and somehow indicates that he doesn't recognize the jurisdiction of the court. He not only didn't show up to court, but he left with his 5 children and went apparently halfway across the country. Although, according to the police report, there are communications that he well knew this whole matter was proceeding in the offing, and that he has consistently refused to recognize the jurisdiction of the court. As far as releasing my personal recognizance, I don't think that would be appropriate, and I don't know what the DCF rulings are at this time, but he would have to comply with all of them. and it seems unlikely right now that he's going to be allowed to have custody of his children. So I'm going to deny the petition, and I'll maintain the bail of $20,000.
Yes, Judge.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Petition denied.
Why? He was protecting his children. He was protecting his children. What you're doing is criminal. It's criminal. They're railroading him, and they're making him out to be a criminal when he was protecting his children. They were trying to unlawfully remove his children from his family. This is outrageous. I just said to Matthew Corey that what he's doing is criminal. This cannot stand. They've denied the bail. Yes, they're keeping it at $20,000. This is absolutely outrageous. How do you feel about what just happened in there?
I'm not giving any comments, thank you.
What they're doing is criminal. This man was protecting his children. He is not a criminal. He was preventing his children from being kidnapped by the state. This is outrageous.
I said no comment, thank you.
Real law. This is my scripture, and I have it all. I'm just letting you know I have it all.
Thank you.
I will let the judge know.